Hi everyone. Alright, thank you once again for coming back to Stock Lounge to watch another video updates for the US market, stock market particularly, how it has been running for the last week and what are we actually looking ahead for this coming week. Alright, so same thing, let's get back into our SPX, the S&P 500 index. Alright, as you have seen from the chart itself, alright, the S&P 500 had actually on a very strong rebound ever since after Christmas last year. All right, after this strong rebound, on this day, Trump said that the market is really right at the sweet spot to actually buy in instead of actually looking to sell. It's not going to have a correction or market crash, and then true enough, the price has went up. Right, initially we were just thinking that because of the moving averages indicators, all right, it's just showing that it's moving downtrend. So we are kind of looking for the price to rebound up to either the 50 or the 50 level or the 61.8 Fibonacci level. All right, so for the past weeks, it have actually broke both level. All right, especially key one, and then bounce back up to the SMA 200. So last week I was saying that price came down a bit when I made the video, which is saying that we are looking probably that it could to see the sign that it could go down or it will revert up again. Alright, so price didn't really actually broke very far. Alright, it just continued, went up. Now the key thing is it broke above the SMA 200. So where are we looking the S&P to go ahead? Alright, so of course the next level of resistance we are looking at is roughly about 2815. Alright, this is the point on this pink line is the point where actually price during last November or October November, that period came down, kind of going sideways and bouncing off, forming this resistance level. So now we are looking at the price for next week onward to go back up and retest this resistance level, and we'll see what it will happen. Alright, the key thing now is whether to enter a trade or order to short a trade. I mean, it's still pretty uncertain because market as a whole now we are moving back. As of the price now, we are moving back up to the level somewhere in the third quarter of last year, 2018. Right, we are looking at the price range around this level that at that point of time is considered the market is on a bull run, but it kind of overheated. Everything is growth are slowing, everything doesn't seem doing very well, business is kind of affected, and plus all the uncertainties created by Brexit, trade war between US and China. So we are now kind of back into the same story again. Alright, so price are going high. If you look at S&P 500, the PE is rough. Based on last check on Bloomberg was about 18 something, that's close, between 18 to 19 PE. Right, so we are moving back way up to the 20 PE zone again. Right, so it just shows that signs that we are going back into the overheated market. And plus, the key thing based on the technical standpoint, for anything that just like this, when it dropped that much, it will sure rebound. Alright, likewise for something that goes so bullish at one shot over the past weeks and months, it tend to going to hit some form of resistance level. Okay, it may or may not be here, some form of resistance level. Alright, and then it's going to come down, retrace a bit. If it's still on a bullish momentum, the bull's going to run, then it will actually go back up. Otherwise, it will just continue to go down and become a downtrend. But like I said, we never really know which direction this will happen until it really happens itself. Alright, it's just that at this point in time, price has been moving up in one way direction for too long. Likelihood is going to hit some resistance, retrace a bit, and then see whether it will continue that bull run again. Alright, so entering a position at this point in time is really very tricky. Just be careful. Alright, if you are value investors, do take note that you are actually buying at a high now. We have already missed the bottom at a good value. If you want to buy here, you're going to buy at the top. Why? Because we are very close to the peak of the whole all-time high. Alright, you are not too far away from the all-time high. So if you're going to buy in here to hold stocks, do be careful because you are buying at a high price. Alright, but we never know, price can get higher and higher. I mean, that's another story about that. Alright, at this point in time, we just look at what the setup is doing, where it is going. Alright, so for this video for this week is rather short because I'm still cautious about it. There's not a lot of position I'm looking at, but there's only one particular stock that I'm looking at for this week is because it had a huge move last week. A lot of people in our community are talking about it, and that is Coca-Cola. All right. So if you look on a long-term perspective, all right, just let me zoom out the chart for you. Let's see if I can zoom out some more. All right, so this is a 5-year chart. If you're looking all the way back to 2011, 2010, right? Yep, 2011. Yeah, somewhere around 2011. So after the bull run, it broke this resistance level, start to move, and you can see that for the past, roughly about past 8 years, right? For the past 8 years, price has been moving within this channel very consistently. All right, very consistently. Right. So what particularly happened was just few days ago. All right, Coca-Cola just have their earning announcement. All right, so the analyst was actually have a bad forecast about the next projection forward. All right, probably they think that Coca-Cola may not be able to earn as much as before. All right, so a lot of people panic and start dumping their shares. I mean, there's a lot of stories that make up the reason for that is because they say that people are getting more and more health conscious. That's why they are getting away from a lot more carbonated drinks and stuff like that. To a certain extent, I think it is because of all the media influence to say that like how carbonated drinks are not good, how sweetened drinks are not good, and a lot of countries are in fact are taxing a lot more of sugar tax. Like in certain countries, they are thinking of taxing sugar tax so that they can actually reduce people from taking sugar drink. One of the main reasons is because the number of diabetes people in their country are increasing. So that is one of the ways they do. But I think it was kind of a one-sided story because especially particularly if you are I mean for me particularly because I live in Asia, we know that in Asia particularly, one thing that a lot of people still kind of like is like bubble tea. Yeah, and bubble tea is still like high sugar content. Originally it's served with 100% sugar. If not, some people actually request it can be as low as 30% sugar. But I still think that the tea itself is really very sweet. Yeah, so if you add on sugar, it's just additional sugar. So if you don't take any carbonated or other form of sweetened drinks from Coca-Cola or any other big brands, I mean, you're still buying from bubble tea shops and you're still drinking sugar water. I mean, it's still pretty much the same. So I just think that there's a shift of consumer buying what kind of drinks, but not so much about whether are they really because of health conscious point and reducing the amount of sugar intake that you should have. But it's definitely an issue that the government is pushing because a lot of people, I mean, the true fact is a lot of people are actually picking up the illness of diabetes. So that is one key challenge. All right. So what do I see for Coca-Cola? I think Coca-Cola is still going to be a very strong company. They have been around for many years, and I believe that the topic of them having sugar drink is not new. They have been talking about since I was young. I read about it until now. When I'm now an adult, I'm still hearing the same thing all over again. So I believe it come to even my children generation. Although I don't have a kid now, I think it even come to my children generation, it's still going to be the same. Right, so I think Coca-Cola is very strong company. It's still potential growth, and it has been moving very constantly within this moving channel. All right, so what's the price or what's the entry point I'm looking at for Coca-Cola? There's two price area of entry I'm looking at. All right, one, firstly, price happened to just drop below the 200 SMA on last Friday. All right, came out a lot lower. Right, but what I'm looking at firstly is the area. Okay, the possible area of value will be somewhere around this area. All right, around this area. Right, between this, somewhere in between of these two pink lines. Right, because of you can see that price actually bounced off this area, kind of broke the resistance, retested the resistance, went up and touched the support. So I'm looking at the price to come down somewhere around this zone. Alright, if you come back down to this zone and have a clear sign of rebounding up again, I think this could be forming a support level. So I might possibly going to initiate a position to enter for Coca-Cola. Okay, that is one area. Alright, just let me highlight it again. So because of all this point, you can see that it bounced off. Alright, it broke here, bounce off. So it shows that this within this zone is highly potential. I'm looking at somewhere Coca-Cola come back in and bounce off again. I might enter the first position. Otherwise, the next one I'll be looking at is I'll look at Coca-Cola to break through, bounce off the long-term trend line support level. Alright, come here, then bounce off again. Probably this is the next potential entry I look at. So this is two key areas I'm looking at for Coca-Cola. Right, if it bounces off, I might want to initiate a position to enter it. So there's a few choices I can do. One, I will probably going to get firstly, probably one, you can look at getting a Coca-Cola shares. Alright, if it drops down to this level at 45 or even $43 to get in per share, I think that's a pretty good value to look at. Otherwise, you can actually like what I did, actually I do, if you are like me who do options, alright, that is one possibility. You can do two ways. One, you can initiate a sell put to actually get your premium. If you want that to happen, and if let's say if price really drop lower than that, you just be assigned a stock at whatever strike price that you initiated. Otherwise, you actually can initiate a call position to buy, anticipating the price will move up, just to mimic the potential gain that if the price really went up back to the high as about 50 over range. But if you do intend to initiate a call position, do take note that the moving channel within Coca-Cola is only as much as about, alright, roughly about 43. I'll give you about 43 to 51, around that range. So we are talking about only about plus minus about an $8 appreciation value, right? So it's not going to be a Coca-Cola is what I say that is more like a dividend stock kind of thing. So they are huge, but they are not definitely not a growth company. So you will not be able to expect other kind of company that have grown 20, 30, even $50 in the next if you hold it over a couple of years. That's not going to happen for Coca-Cola. But if you're going to hold it, if you're looking at to appreciate for 10, 15, $20, you're definitely going to hold a really long time for price to work out itself, right? So it still boils back down what is your investment thesis, what's your objective. If you are looking just for that capital gain of $8 plus minus $8, yeah, you can definitely try to buy the share or actually try to initiate a call position. But if you just like us option investors who just want to profit from the premium, right, you can actually always just sell a put, just do it on a monthly basis and wait for it to bounce off, just take the premium and then wait for the next opportunity to get in again, right? Okay, so that's pretty much it for this week. This is the only counter I'm looking at because of the huge drop, right? Other than that, the rest, some of them are in position, but I'm not so fancy about it. The key thing is, like I mentioned, because of SPX, S&P 500, alright, it's right at the high. Okay, the risk of it coming down, okay, is a lot higher than potential of it going up. So I just don't want to take the unnecessary risk, right, except for Coca-Cola, because I still think that even if I be assigned or even if I buy the share, it's still a very strong mode company actually to look at. Alright, in fact, one of the reasons why I'm very bullish about Coca-Cola is because of another big company that I was actually looking at. Just to let you know, I'm not covering here, is because of McDonald's. McDonald's, as we all know, is a very big fast food chain, and it has been using Coca-Cola for many years. Can you imagine McDonald's will go down, right? Or can you imagine McDonald's actually switch over to use Pepsi Cola, right? I think that is almost impossible. So because of that partnership, Coca-Cola will always have a very big clientele. So I doubt that they will go down to zero. It doesn't matter what they're going to do or what kind of campaign they're going to run, and probably they might even initiate a buy over other mid to smaller size F&B at certain trend of the time, so that they can become part of the shareholder business. Anyway, I think that's kind of now where most of the business are going. When they see something trending, something are powerful, they just buy over the business if they have the financial means. Alright, so yep, that's it for this week. So do take note of the S&P 500. Keep look out on the market. if you are in, please do your own due diligence of Coca-Cola. It's never a buy sell recommendation. It's just that I just identify the potential areas of entry, values of entry for you. It may or may not turn out to be there. It may not work out, or it may just break down all the way and go even break the blue color trend line support and go even further down and become a downtrend. We never know, right? So always do your own due diligence. All right. So yep, that's it. Right. So please trade or invest safely. All right. Look out for the market. It's still at pretty much at high. We are moving back up to our all-time high in 2018. We are moving up to that zone again. So please be careful. All right. That's all for this week, guys. All right. Okay. Invest safely, and I'll see you next week.